What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. My name is Sean, aka elyyt, and today we're going to be going over the top 18 rated players in FIFA 21 for Bundesliga, as Bundesliga came to a close yesterday with Werder Bremen topping out Heidenheim. They actually tied, but on aggregate went through a very close nail-biter game for the relegation playoffs. We know exactly who's staying up, who's going down in Bundesliga, and with some of the transfers already going through, I want to get out this video now because Bundesliga is finished, but we'll wait until Premier League, La Liga, and the other top leagues to finish before I come out with those videos, because obviously the last couple games could affect what I think the players' ratings are going to be. But before you get on my case because, oh, this guy should be higher rated, this guy should be lower rated, most, and when I say most, about 99% of the stats that I'm going with are based on EA's actual database, which they use for career mode. So they update their player base, they update the stats, each individual stat actively in career mode. So this is what their current ratings are, and then there's a couple that I changed in anticipation for EA to actually update for the next one. Anyways, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting our list off at number 18, we have the youngster, the 20-year-old from Bayer Leverkusen, Kai Havertz. This card is similar to what we saw in FIFA 20. Not too many changes. He's still got his 4-star, 4-star. However, his work rates did change from high-low, and they're going to be medium-medium next year with a couple of individual stat changes, but overall, he's still going to be an 84 rating, and with his potential, he could get a lot of upgrades going into next year, and this card could end up being 86, 87, 88, even 89 rated by the next couple of FIFAs. At number 17, we've got another center attacking mid youngster at 84 rated. It's going to be Julian Brandt this time for Dortmund. Again, very similar to what we saw in FIFA 20. Julian Brandt actually probably close to getting an 85 rated, and I wouldn't be surprised if EA update his stats before FIFA 21 come out, because he really is hovering between 84 and 85. Now, with my Dortmund bias, I decided if I was between 84 and 85, I'd keep it at the lower rating just to prevent me from being biased in this video with upgrades and downgrades. And in fact, I actually went against some of the rating upgrades for Bayern, saying like Muller, who deserves to be higher rated than EA currently have in the database. Nonetheless, Julian Brandt's going to be number 17 for us, and his stats still seem pretty average. Might be usable for the first couple weeks, but you're going to need some upgrades on this card to continue using him throughout the year. You will notice in this video that the first few players are going to be the exact same rating they were in FIFA 20. Now, a couple of them are debatable, but this one is probably going to stay the exact same. Gulashi at 85 rated. He didn't have an unbelievable great year, but he didn't have a bad year either. I think he lived up to the 85 rating that he had, and he's probably going to be 85 rated again next year. Given the fact that he's from Hungary and he's at Leipzig, it's going to be SBC fodder again. 85 rated goalkeepers really just don't even cut it at the beginning of the year. He's going to be one of the cheapest 85s again, and you're going to be using him in SBCs all year. Next up, we've got Axel Vitzell. This card between 84 and 85 rated, I believe, but I just don't think he warrants a downgrade. He's still one of the best center mids in Bundesliga. He just didn't have as good of a season as he did in 18-19. His 19-20 season wasn't bad. It just got a little bit overshadowed by the Emre Can transfer in winter. Emre Can took on a couple of those defensive abilities, and since they're very similar players, Axel Vitzell had a little bit more competition as the star midfielder for Dortmund. Nonetheless, he's still pretty good, and even though Emre Can took on some of those defensive abilities and it changed his work rate from medium-high to medium-medium, I think Axel Vitzell is probably going to hold on to that 70 or that 85 rating going into FIFA 21. Next up is probably the most debatable card in FIFA 21. I mean, I guess more of you guys are probably going to be arguing about the English Premier League when that video comes out, but for Bundesliga, at least this episode, Berkey, I didn't know what to rate him. I'm not going to lie. It's so tough because on paper, he still looks like he's one of the best goalkeepers in Bundesliga and deserves an 85 rating. But I watched him all year, and he was very inconsistent. A lot of times his distribution wasn't great, and sometimes he let in some pretty easy goals at the worst times. So with Roman Berkey having the inconsistencies of this year, I could see him going down to 84. EA, on the other hand, still have him at 85 rating, and that's why I haven't changed him yet. But if I were making the EA ratings, which I'm not, and I want this video to be an accurate representation of what EA are going to rate them, not what I'm going to rate them, I would put him at 84 rated. I think he deserves a downgrade just by a little bit, but we'll see what EA do, because currently I think they're still going to keep him at 85. And the last player that we're keeping at the exact same rating to start this video is going to be Nicolas Soulet, although he did have some stat change, pace down, physical up, and he is still going to be one of those better SBC fodder cards, more expensive SBC fodder cards, but not ridiculously usable in-game unless he gets some really sick upgrades. So next up, we've got Coutinho. He's going to get a downgrade. So this is the first rating change that we're seeing for FIFA 21. So we've got Coutinho, 85 rating, left wing. He obviously hasn't had the most incredible season. There's a lot of attackers on Bayern that are really carrying the attack, and Coutinho's not even close to being one of them. You've got the likes of Thomas Muller, and you've got the likes of Lewandowski up there, and those are the pinpoints of the attack. In fact, Kimmich almost had as many contributions as Coutinho, and Kimmich is a right back. So he definitely deserves a downgrade, although he's going to keep the 5-star skills, the 4-star weak foot, and he's going to have medium work rates. The pace isn't going to be great, and the physicality is not going to be great. This card would work a lot better at a central attacking mid role in FIFA, but he's going to stay as a left wing going into the game. Next up, we've got Serge Ganavry, who's going to get another upgrade going into FIFA 21. But what you might notice is the huge pace downgrade. Now, EA have downgraded his pace ridiculously, whether you think it's fair or not. Will it be as low as 84? It's possible that he gains back 1 or 2 pace, but it's not going to be near 90. It'll be 84, 85, 86 at the most. He's going to get upgrades at shooting, dribbling, physicality, defense, and passing all around, but his pace has plummeted even though he's going to get an upgrade. Now, I think he's still pretty fast, and I think 84 is a little bit harsh. That's what they've got him set at in terms of pace in the career mode database. Let's go and sneak a new transfer into the mix. We've got Sane. He came from Manchester City after his ACL tear that took him out for pretty much all of the season. He saw a few minutes for Man City once the coronavirus break ended, but after that, he quickly transferred to Bayern, so he only saw a few minutes back, and he's not going to get a downgrade quite yet. We'll see if he gets injured again this year, because a lot of people that get injured seem to become injury prone, including me. I got injured in October, and I've had like 4 injuries since, which sucks. But I digress. Sane, on the other hand, could come back and play like Marco Reus did after his ACL injury the other year. But he could also come back from his ACL injury like Falcao, which took him a few years to get back to being the class player he once was. So Sane, his stats aren't going to change too much. He's going to stay with the 86 rating with 4-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. That weak foot really sucks in FIFA. I think that he needs a weak foot upgrade for him to be usable in FIFA for me. But if pace is very important in FIFA 21 like it always is, he'll at least fit into some people's squads. So that is going to be Leroy Sané's card in FIFA 21. Next up, we've got Jan Sommer at 86 rated. Huge upgrade, especially if you consider the last 2 years. This man has gone up in rating quite a bit. Up to 86 rated here, and he's going to have 5 stats, 81 and above. No goalkeepers have a high speed stat anyway, so he's one of the more well-balanced goalkeepers in the game. We'll see how he plays, but given the fact that he is Swiss, the only links are going to be Manuel Neuer, and the Mönchengladbach center backs other than Matthias Ginter, who might get an upgrade to around 82, 83 rated. He's not going to be too usable once again. I know in the last couple of years, all of his upgraded cards, which were deserved upgraded cards, were not the cards you wanted to pack. He even made his way into the ultimate team of the season somehow, and nobody wanted to get him, right? And it's going to be another similar year for Sommer in FIFA 21. Although, he is going to get a little bit of a head start on rating, as he's going to be 86 rated this year instead of 84. Next up, we've got the young god, Jaden Sancho, 86 rated, getting upgraded again. He's had an incredible season. With 17 goals and 17 assists, only Messi has a better statistic combination between goals and assists in any of the top 5 leagues. So Jaden Sancho definitely is going to get an upgrade, and at only 19 years old, is going to be possibly one of the greatest players in the world very soon. Now, you might argue, there have been rumors that he's going to the Premier League before next season starts. But with there being so many rumors to so many different clubs, and the fact that Sancho himself has said that he hasn't got any plans to leave quite yet, I think we should put him in the Bundesliga video now, and if he leaves by the time we make the Premier League video, we'll throw him in that one as well. Nonetheless, he's 86 rated, and he's going to get some upgrades, especially on shooting and passing, as 17 goals and 17 assists, that kind of speaks for itself. Next up, we've got Thiago. Thiago at 86 rated as well. He's going to be a downgrade to his 87, although I don't really agree with it. EA have put this as his rating currently, and he's played more of a center defensive mid role for Bayern this year. Obviously a player that can definitely get forward, but he doesn't put too much on the score sheet. And I think that's why EA have downgraded him. So I think he should probably hold his rating, if not maybe an upgrade. But the more realistic answer is, yeah, probably going to give him 86 going into next year. And he's one of those guys that wants out of Bayern now. So it's very possible he goes somewhere in La Liga. Now that Barcelona have picked up Miralem Pjanic, I don't think Thiago is going to go there. He's not going to go back to Barcelona. I don't know where he could go from here, but he does want out, so you could see him in a future video in terms of the rating predictions as well. Next up, we've got another downgrade. Now, Thiago, he was definitely hindered by injuries in his career, but nothing in comparison to this man right here who got injured time and time again this year as well. It seems that he's only really had one full year, which was the 18-19 season, where coming back from his ACL injury was possibly the best player in the world for a couple of months, as he won Bundesliga Player of the Month. I believe it was 3 months in a row. He was absolutely tearing up the league. This year, he came back. He was playing well, but nothing in comparison to what he was in the year before, and then he got hurt again. And now I think it's time for a downgrade, unfortunately. I mean, he could have been upwards of 90 rated if he had never gotten injured in FIFA, but this has become his harsh reality. And at 30 years old, his potential really isn't going to be hitting 90 anymore. He's probably going to hover between the ratings of 86 and 88 for the next few years, and his pace and physicality is going down, because after you get that many injuries, it takes a toll on your body. Nonetheless, he's still one of the best playmakers in the world. 88 shooting, 84 passing, and 86 dribbling. Makes him a very usable card, especially at the center attacking mid-role that he has transformed to post-injuries. He used to be a great left wing, pacey, and very good with agility. He's still got that agility, he just doesn't have the pace anymore, so he's moving into more of a center attacking mid-role, especially as Dortmund have so many youngsters coming up the ranks that play wing as well. It's really nice to see him transform so well into a center attacking mid-role. Next up, we've got one of the cards that I upgraded myself, all right? EA still have him rated below what they had him rated in FIFA 20, which makes no sense to me. He was one of the best players in Bundesliga this year, bar maybe Sancho and Lewandowski. Top 3 for me in the league was Thomas Muller. He created so many assists, and Lewandowski would not have had the year he had if it wasn't for Thomas Muller. He deserves an upgrade, and even though EA completely shafted him with his stats year after year after year, he deserves the upgrade. He's going to get a shooting upgrade. He's going to get a passing upgrade. He's still got at least 70 pace at that center attacking mid / center forward role. Next up, we've got Mats Hummels, who's going to be 87 rated as well in FIFA 21. This guy is not getting very many favors from EA in terms of pace or physicality. His only exceptional stat is defense, and I'd argue he deserves a little bit more physicality, but his passing is criminally underrated. This man is like Dortmund's quarterback. This guy, he can send long balls perfectly over the top to some of the wingers, and I think that he deserves a big passing upgrade. Although, I can't let my Dortmund bias get in the way, so I just went with the stats that EA currently have on Hummels. A little bit of a pace upgrade, believe it or not. I know it's only 55, but it's up 4. He's also got a little bit of a defensive upgrade as well at 89 defense. 3-star, 3-star, and now he's going to have a high work rate. As I said, he gets forward and plays some great passes to the attack. And they've given him the high work rate to kind of illustrate that, but they really haven't done it with passing quite yet. I think 87 rated overall is totally a fair judgment. I just think some of the individual stats should be a little bit different. Next up, we've got Joshua Kimmich. And this is one of the other cards that EA really haven't been friendly to in terms of individual stats, although they are giving him a fair overall rating. 87 is totally fair for Joshua Kimmich. He deserves the upgrade, and he started the year at 84 rated. He went to 86 in the winter upgrades, and now 87 going into FIFA 21. But when you're playing right back in a game called FIFA, you need pace, and he just doesn't have it. He doesn't have pace, and he really doesn't have the defense or physical to make up for it. He's a great distributor, and he gets a lot of assists, including sometimes scoring some goals for Bayern. So he's got 70 shooting, which is pretty high for a fullback, but overall, the stats just never translate well to FIFA. We don't know what the meta is going to be in FIFA 21, but most often than not, this isn't going to fit it. So I don't think Kimmich is really going to be one of the more meta cards. He's probably going to fall into some sort of 87 SBC fodder, although similar to Nicolas Soulet this year, he's one of the more expensive SBC fodder. Next up, we've got an upgrade from Manuel Neuer. People thought he was falling off after he reached Ballon d'Or nominee about 6 years ago, and he hit an injury. We saw elyyt play for Bayern for a little over a year, and now he's back, and unfortunately for us Dortmund fans, he's still world class. He's very good, but he is reaching a high age of 33. So his speed is going to get a little bit of a downgrade, but the rest of his cards going up by about 1 or 2 stats on each individual stat. And then we've got Lewandowski to finish this off. Lewandowski is going to get a huge upgrade going into next year at 91 rated. And a lot of you guys could probably argue 92. If Neymar hit 92, Lewandowski, with over 50 goals for his club this year in all competitions combined, he's had one of the best years a striker could possibly have. And I think he's probably the only player competing with Lionel Messi to win Ballon d'Or this year. It's going to be between them two. So with that being said, he's going to get a big upgrade. And I think it should be 92, although EA have him at 91. And let's consider what they did last year. Lewandowski came off a very good year, and he was 90 rated. But then in FIFA 20, they gave him an 89 rating. They downgraded him for literally no reason. So they have some sort of agenda against Robert Lewandowski, which is why I don't think they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt by giving him a 92 rated. But 91, undoubtedly. It's going to be between those two ratings, but that is going to finish it off for all of the ratings of the top 18 players in Bundesliga. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the very end of the video, please comment down below the name of any Bundesliga player, and I will drop a heart on it in appreciation for you making it to the end of the video. Anyways, guys, if you did enjoy, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new for more FIFA 20 and FIFA 21 content. My name is Sean, aka elyyt, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.